Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who's interested is welcome to join. We shall start with our first participant, which is Felicia Chen of Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. My practice so far so good. My practice in mindfulness and wisdom is good when I meditate or not. Ajahn, I have a question. Every time when I meditate, my whole body will disappear immediately. No cell at all. Only awareness, very clear and peaceful. May I know, is this the same as body die, but mind not die? Or is this the case when die? Thank you.
Well, at least you know that the mind and the body can be separated.
Yeah.
But you have to, when you come out of meditation, you have to keep reminding yourself that the mind and the body are two different things.
Okay.
The body will die, but the mind will not die, doesn't die. Because the mind can remain without the body. So that when something happens to the body, you should not be
No
hurt.
worry.
Don't worry. Because it's not you, not the mind who get hurt or die. So you just have to remind yourself, because sometimes you can forget when you run into emergency, you start to forget. Lose your mindfulness and wisdom, and you start to get anxious or become fearful and get excited, then you have to use wisdom to calm your mind down.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you, Ajahn. Ajahn, should I stay in this condition as long as possible?
You mean in meditation?
Yeah.
Yes, stay as long as possible. That's why you find peace and happiness for yourself there. It's like staying in an air-conditioned room. You don't want to come outside of the room, which is hot.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you come out of meditation, you see and hear things, and your mind starts to get anxious or get agitated.
Yeah. This kind of happiness very special, Ajahn.
Yes. So you have to use mindfulness and wisdom when you come out of meditation. You stop your mind from reacting to anything that you see or hear. Everything come and go. Everything is anatta. You cannot control them.
Ajahn, some more, somebody told me, if go to China, go in, like do samadhi in China, the time very long. Is it no wisdom? But myself, when I meditate, even though I in the jhana, I always move out from jhana to contemplate, let's say, 32 body part, and then I can see the delusion come and go. I just look at them. I never get involved. Like this, is it still like vipassana, right? Not like just samadhi, just sit down, and then people say sit down for so long and then no wisdom. Like me, when I meditate, I'm not only sit down in the jhana stage. I move out from jhana stage and do contemplate. When the delusion come and go, everything I look at. Is it like this? Is it also vipassana?
Well,
thank you.
The purpose of meditation is to build up your equanimity. The longer you stay in jhana, the stronger will be your equanimity when you come out. So you shouldn't do any thinking when you're in jhana. You should wait until you come out of jhana. Like right now, you can think all you want about the 32 parts, about anicca, about anatta. But don't do it when you meditate. You want to like charge the battery for the mind. You want to charge the equanimity. The longer you stay, the stronger will be your equanimity. So that when you come out and you teach the mind with wisdom to let go of the body, it will let go easily.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
So samadhi is not a place to develop wisdom. Wisdom is when you are not in jhana. Sometimes you might not be in jhana, but you're still meditating, meaning your mind still think and your mind start to get agitated because of the painful feeling on the body. Then you are forced to do wisdom, to study the nature of the pain, to see it as anicca and anatta, and let go of the pain and not be affected by the pain. This is when you are forced to do. See, when you sit for a long time, sometimes the pain will arise, and you're not in jhana, so you can feel the pain, and you start to have dukkha in your mind. Then you want to teach the mind to get rid of the dukkha, because the dukkha arises from your desire to get rid of the pain or to run away from the pain. But you say you don't want to do that because no matter where you go, the pain will keep following you. And the best way is to face it with equanimity, with wisdom.
The pain also no self. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just a condition, a phenomenon that we cannot control. But I think everybody is trying to control the pain. That's why they have painkillers. Every time painkiller is a good, very popular product, but painkiller can turn into addiction for the user. And so it's better not to use painkillers when your body is painful. Use wisdom and mindfulness.
Thank you. And when mindfulness, the pain also disappear. When mindfulness strong, the pain will disappear. It come again. Then mindfulness strong, then the pain also no self disappear also.
Sometimes it disappears, sometimes it doesn't. But our goal is not to get rid of the pain. Our goal is to get rid of dukkha.
Okay.
The dukkha that arises from our desire to want the pain to disappear. The more you want the pain to disappear, the more dukkha you will have. So you don't want to have any desire. Leave the pain alone. Look at it like the weather, like the rain. You cannot stop the rain. So you cannot stop the painful feeling. Let it fall like rain. Let it appear like rain.
Okay, thank you.
When your mind let go, your mind will become calm and peaceful, and the pain can still appear, but doesn't bother the mind anymore.
Okay.
You can live with the pain without having to take painkillers. Like if you have headache or stomachache, use wisdom and mindfulness. Don't use painkiller. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you very much. Wisdom and mindfulness is the best wisdom. West medicine, we call it the Dhamma medicine. Okay. This is what forest monks do when they go practice in the forest. They don't take any medicine with them. They use the Dhamma medicine. They go into jhana. After they come out of jhana, they teach the mind to understand the nature of the pain and let go.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. I'm very happy. Thank you. Anumodana, sadhu, sadhu.
Next, Kwan Liman from Malaysia.
Ajahn, I feel a storm in my heart. The unpleasant feelings were so strong that I couldn't do anything. So I went back to my room and sat at the same spot and do nothing and just watch the storm to subside. I remember Ajahn say when there's heavy rain, we don't go outside, we stay in the house. So I keep the mindfulness within, sat there, do nothing, but just to watch anicca, dukkha, anatta, and the storm in the heart subsided.ท่านอาจารย์ when I feel when I feel progress in the practice and when I feel calmer, I feel that the defilement will arise to test me. So it needs a lot of courage and determination to keep on the right track. That was what happened,ท่านอาจารย์
You should be thankful for the defilement to test you, because that's what you want to do, to be able to pass the test. If you're not given the test, then you won't know whether you'll pass it or not.
Yeah,
So whenever you have dukkha in your mind, then you should be thankful, because this is the work of the defilement. You can either stop it by using mindfulness, or you can stop it by using wisdom. If you can figure out what kind of desire you're having at that moment that causes your mind to be irritated or disturbed. If you can find the cause, and if you can use the 3 characteristics, you can let go of your desire.
Yes,
and then your dukkha will disappear.
Yeah, I know the cause, and it took a few hours for me to.
That's because you don't have enough equanimity. See? If you have strong equanimity, you can just do it with the snap of your finger. When wisdom say, "Oh, this is anicca, anatta," say, "Okay, let go, leave it alone."
Yeah.
But it takes practice. You have to keep on practicing, and you become smarter as you go along.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Ajahn.
Try to practice as the basis of your practice is mindfulness and samadhi. Keep doing this thing as much as possible. And when you're not doing meditation, then you can do wisdom. Teach your mind that everything around you is all anicca, anatta. If you cling to them, if you want something from them, you can be hurt, because you not always get what you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Anura and Ramya, New Zealand.
Good evening, Ajahn. So, you know, question?
I heard you are writing a new book, Ajahn, about defilements.
Who am I? Am I
Yes.
writing a new book?
Yes.
No, I don't do any more writing, but sometimes my students, they will go and collect more of what I said in my Dhamma talks and collect them into a topic or something like that. I don't know about. I leave this up to them, because I have enough things on my hand already.
Okay.
But I give Dhamma talks like this, and sometimes they find some phrases or something I said, they feel very useful for them, so they want to share it maybe. So they try to collect.
Is it available now? Or, yeah.
I don't know. Who did you hear from?
From one of your Q&A session.
Q&A sessions.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I have to check again.
Okay. I'm not sure whether I was talking about previous books or not.
Maybe.
But not new books.
Yeah. Ajahn, so I heard that you were having back pain. I heard on this weekend when you were in your Q&A. How are you doing?
Oh, don't worry about it. It only happens when I stand or walk for a while. Otherwise, if I'm sitting or lying down, I don't feel any pain. So when I have to walk, after a while, when I start to feel painful, I have to stop and stretch my back. Then I can continue walking for another distance. And when I feel painful again, I do, or I can stop and just sit down and rest for a while. This is my way of dealing with my pain. This is the Dhamma medicine. You don't need anything or anybody. Just to learn to live with it, accept it's part of your life.
Yeah. I hope you are well, Tangajan. I have a question, Tangajan. In Lontam Habua books and some of the Ajahn books, they talk about chitta and heart. So is the chitta means is a knowing mind and the heart is the emotional mind? So
Chitta is the thinking mind, and the heart is the knowing and emotional mind. So it's the same. It's the same. It's the one thing, but it has two functions: thinking and knowing.
Yeah.
The chitta has the four nama khandas, having the feeling, thinking, perception, and consciousness. They work as a team.
Yeah.
The four nama khandas is usually referred to as the chitta. While the one who knows is referred to the heart. The one who knows, who crave, who have defilement, who have dukkha. This is the heart. The mind, the one who knows.
Okay.
But it's one thing, one and the same thing, but it has two faces, like Brahma. Brahma had four faces. The mind has two faces, the thinking and the knowing.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not important.
Yeah.
What's important is to get rid of your defilement, which cause them knowing to suffer, to have dukkha. And it is the defilement that use the thinking to create dukkha for the mind. You think, when you think for something, you crave for it. When you crave for it, then you create dukkha in the heart, in the mind. So what we want to do is to get rid of the cravings by using the practice of wisdom, samadhi, and mindfulness, sati. Because you can stop your thinking when it goes out of hand, when you start to become worrying and fear or anything like this. It's from your thinking. So you can first deal with it by just stop the thinking. When you stop the thinking, then the emotion that arises from the thinking will disappear. But temporarily, when you let the thinking start again, it can start to think about the same thing again and cause more emotion for you. If you want to get rid of this problem permanently, you have to teach the mind to think by way of the three characteristics. You see that everything is anicca, everything is anatta. There's nothing you can do to keep them, to force them to be what you want them to be. So it's better just to leave them alone.
Okay.
When you leave them alone, then you have no cravings, you have no attachment, no clinging.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we have metta, karuna, and that's kind of good thinking, then that's good for the heart.
Yes, it's because this is the thinking that overcome the defilement. The defilement is not involved in the metta, karuna, mudita, ubeka.
So naturally, they are good for you.
Yeah, good thoughts. Good thoughts.
Okay. Thank you, Tangajan, for your teaching. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Again, so from Penang.
Nice to meet you again.
Cannot hear you. Can you speak louder?
Good evening, Ajahn. Nice to meet you again. I'm listening, Ajahn. No questions.
Okay. I'll go to Professor Ken from Switzerland, from Biel.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
You still teaching or you're on holiday?
I was teaching this morning, and I usually try to keep this time free.
How much longer you have to teach? before you retire?
Maximum of 6 years, but
6
I
years.
could go anytime.
I see. So you're still young. You're not even 60 yet. Huh?
I'm 59.
I'm 59. And mandatory retirement is 65. Huh?
Yeah, it's mandatory, but actually I can go early from 58. So
I see.
just saving up a bit of money so I can go early.
Good. Better go after the Dhamma.
Exactly.
The Dhamma is something you can take with you when you die.
Yeah.
Everything else in this earth, you cannot take anything with you.
Yeah, I'm going to take in the autumn this year, I'm going to take a sabbatical for 6 months. So
Good.
I should have more time for practice then.
You plan to go to retreat in monastery?
Yeah, I plan to go to the monastery here, and I may go visit my daughter in New Zealand, come to Thailand on the way maybe, but that's
Just
a rough.
Stay a couple of days and come to you.
Yeah, I stayed there already once before, so I know the challenges.
It's not easy for older people.
No, it's quite tough, but very, very good test.
Any question tonight?
Yes, Ajahn, I'd like to ask advice on behalf of someone else. A close person, close family member is currently suffering quite a lot because of sudden separation from a loved one. And so my family member, he already is interested in the Dhamma. He knows the teachings quite well, but he's just at the beginning of practicing. So for someone who's got a lot of dukkha at this moment, what would Ajahn suggest as a way of practice?
No, you go to the Four Noble Truths, because that's where you deal with the dukkha, right? The first truth is dukkha, and it's because you lose someone, separating from the one you love. And the cause of this dukkha is your desire not to be separated, that's all. If you want to stick together all the time and expect to live forever together, and but this is not the truth. Anicca, everything is anicca. Anytime anyone can pass away. So they have to look at everything as anicca, temporarily. And anatta, you cannot control these things. Cannot control the departure of people from your existence, or prevent them from coming in. Sometimes you have dukkha because someone you don't like come into your life. Or sometimes you have dukkha because someone you love go away from you. That's all.
Yeah.
So if you can just flip your craving the other way around, try to be happy with someone you don't like. So when they come, you will be happy. And try not to be happy with someone you live with.
Okay.
If you're not happy with the one you live with, when they go, you don't feel bad, right? You feel happy. Good riddance. So it's your attitude, that's all. You have to change. Is this good enough?
So this is using wisdom to deal.
Yeah, because you cannot change people. You cannot tell people to stay or go. They themselves sometimes cannot tell themselves whether to stay or go, because the body is beyond their ability to control.
Okay.
Just be ready to be separated. And what you need is the practice of meditation to have equanimity. Once you have equanimity, then if you lose something, you won't feel bad.
Yeah.
Because your mind is peaceful and calm, and you can continue on living without what you lose. But people without equanimity, they rely on something, on that thing that they lose. So when they lose that thing, it seems like their life is falling apart. They have nothing else to cling on to hang on to. So now they have to to start to build up something that they can rely on in themselves. And that is peace from meditation, equanimity. Once you have equanimity, then you can careless who comes or go, because you don't need them.
Okay.
But it's very difficult for a beginner, you know.
Yeah.
But maybe sometimes you don't know, maybe they have enough wisdom to understand that the dukkha arises from the desire or craving. Desire for someone that you lose to come back, not to go away. But you have to look at reality. Reality is that someone is anicca, impermanent. That someone is anatta. You cannot control them. You cannot tell them to stay or go. You know, because they are the work of nature. Everything is the work of nature. Anatta. Our body is the work of nature, built by nature and taken away by nature. One day nature will tear our body apart and bring it back to the four building blocks of earth, water, fire, and wind. And we cannot stop nature. When the time comes when nature wants to take away our body, we can't do anything. We can only comply. If you can comply, you won't have any dukkha. But if you don't want to comply, you want to resist, you are creating dukkha for yourself. That's all. Compliance is the key word. Comply with nature. Like when the snow comes, you cannot tell the snow not to come. It comes. You just have to accept the snow. So you have some place to hide from the snow. So with the mind, you need samadhi to deal with your losses, your dukkha.
Okay.
So they have to use mindfulness and try to meditate to calm the mind. And the stronger the calm of the mind is, the easier for them to accept the truth. Because the calm will stop the defilement from resisting the truth. It's the defilement that resists the truth, the cravings. But if you have samadhi, you have jhana, you can suppress this desire. And if you have wisdom, then you can then stop the desire completely, permanently. Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan. I'll pass on this message, and also I guess he will have a look at the video later on. So thank you very much for this teaching.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, I will leave Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. I don't have any question today. I just listen.
Okay. People one from Boise, Idaho. She's Thai.
Question, but thank you for your guiding. This is outstanding. Just listening. I'm still learning.
Okay. I'll go to Gary then. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. Just listening in. No questions for now.
Okay. Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Just also listening in. I hope you're doing well. Just listening in. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe later on you might have some questions.
Yes.
B. Ravin from Bangkok.
Hi, good evening, Prajan. Actually, I'm still in Pattaya. I'm still staying at the condo, and I will go back to Bangkok tomorrow. So, Prajan, I was just reflecting upon what you told me yesterday, not to seek for endorsement, and commendation, positions from others. Is this because of just not allowing the mind to be kind of overwhelmed by praise and allowing us to think that we actually have something, whereas actually we don't own anything at all. And once we die, we cannot take anything with us.
Well, sometimes you're expecting praises and you don't get praise, you get criticism instead. And you can feel really bad. But if you're not expecting any praises, then if you get that criticism, you don't feel as bad. Or you should expect criticism, because life is like that. There's two sides of the same coin. You have praises and you also have criticism. And if they are anicca, they keep flipping back and forth. Anatta, you cannot tell praises to come and no criticism to come. So you just have to learn to accept them, like you're accepting the winter and the summer. Keep changing. We can live with the weather because we know there's nothing we can do to change it. But with other things, we think we might be able to change. But sometimes we cannot. So leave praises and criticism to other people. As far as yourself is concerned, just be ready to accept both. Because this is the real world. The real world, sometimes you run into people who praise you, and sometimes you run into people who is critical of you.
So the key is not to react positively or negatively to them. Try
right.
to stay as neutral as possible.
No love or hate, no love of praises, no hate of criticism. Equanimity, that's what you need. It's all come back to equanimity and wisdom, anicca and anatta. You need these three things, and then understanding anicca, anatta, and have equanimity to deal with them.
So these three will allow our mind to not react and to accept things as they come.
That's right. Your mind will not react with cravings or desire, with attraction or aversion, with love or hate or fear. Okay?
Yes, Prajna. Thank you.
All right. Pia and Indy, Mapola.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Ajahn from Toronto. Nice to see you, and thank you
Good to see you too.
so much.
It's getting cold here again. Weather is fluctuating.
Yeah, winter is coming.
No, there's
summer.
Yeah, spring. Yeah, and it's nice. The flowers are blooming, but again, it's a little bit another cold spell. It was warm last week, 14. Now it's down to 2 degrees again.
This is what we call anicca. Anatta,
yeah, Anisha, you can't
anicca,
control.
Anatta. Keep changing. Things keep changing.
It's true.
Ajahn, I have a question. The 8 worldly laws, like praise, blame, gain, loss. Now does it work on somebody according to their karma, or does the 8 worldly laws anyway work and the karma acts accordingly? How does it work?
Can you explain what the 8 worldly is?
Ashtaloka Dhamma, like praise, blame, gain, loss. Yes.
Yeah. These are the things that we as humans will have to face in this world. These 8 things: praise, wealth and loss of wealth.
Yes.
Position and loss of position.
Yes.
Or status. And
yes.
Praise and blame and happiness and sadness. These are the things that keep bombarding us with.
Yes.
But we only want the half of it. We want the good half. We don't want the bad half. We want wealth. We want status. We want praise. We want happiness.
Yes.
But we forget that they are anicca. They change. From having wealth to losing wealth. from having position to lose the position, from having praises to have criticism, from having happiness to having sadness. Because things keep changing. You cannot control your money, right? Everybody wants to save the money and have the money in the same place, but sometimes you lose them. So if you don't want to have any dukkha regarding this 8 thing, is to not to rely on them, not to use them for your happiness. Like the Buddha, he gave up his wealth and position and lived as a beggar, live as a monk.
That's right. So, Ajahn, now karmic forces, like what you bring from the past, like
what you do now, you.
Yeah, even what we are doing now, making karma. So does the 8 law, that's my question. Now that happens anyway, like it keeps changing. But when somebody, like does karma and that together, is it due to their own karma, the way influenced by karma?
These laws.
Well, I think if you do good karma, you tend to be rewarded with the good side of the worldly possession, like wealth. If you do a lot of dana in previous life, you tend to have lots of wealth in this life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did yourself humbly, you might get a position in this life. If you act humbly in your past life. Something like that, good karma.
Yes.
I cannot.
Yes,
but good karma will reward you with the good worldly, what you call worldly something?
Yes.
8 worldly laws.
Yes, 8 worldly Ashtaloka Dhamma. Thank you, Ajahn. I just wanted to explain this to my 2 children. So I just wanted to get how yes.
If you keep stealing in your past life, you might lose a lot of money in this lifetime. You have to pay back your debt.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, Ajahn. Thank you so much.
If you give a lot of happiness to other people, you get a lot of happiness back in this lifetime.
Yes, Ajahn. Yes.
If you give a lot of sadness to other people, you get sadness back in this lifetime.
Yes.
So it's the opposite. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
What about Priya? You have a question?
Yes. If you have time, I'm thinking about the dukkha. Dukkha is pretty much defined as dushkara or dukkha, difficult to bear. But there are in the sutras they talk about 3 types of dukkha: dukkha, dukkha, viparinama dukkha, and sankhara dukkha. Dukkha is like a bodily pain we cannot avoid. Everyone has it. But the sankhara dukkha, the one we create, is up from our thoughts, our defilements, is like the second arrow. Buddha talks about the first arrow, you have no escape. The second, the third, and the fourth, whatever the arrows we put, our thought process, that is sankhara dukkha. Also, there's a viparinama, the dukkha due to change. Again, we have no control. Everything changes. Nothing remains. So what we can only change is the sankhara dukkha, what we create by our thoughts, our expectations. Does it make sense, Ajahn?
Our cravings. Cravings are created by our thoughts. So we have to stop our craving by understanding the nature of the 3 characteristics, anicca and anatta.
So the bodily pain, we have no control, only the reaction to the pain. Say, for example, if you have a knee pain, we are suffering, we create. This can be from the mental suffering, we have some control, but not the bodily suffering, obviously it's going to be there, right? So how we react to the pain differs from person to person.
The pain can come from the body, from the eyes, ears, nose, and tongue also. The sensual organs. Sometimes you see something and you can hurt your eyes, see some bright light, and you feel painful. Or if you have a toothache, this is from the body. So it comes from the body. And this is anicca, anatta. You cannot control them. But the dukkha that arises from your cravings, from your thoughts, you can control them, you can eliminate them. That's what the Buddha did. He eliminated all the sankhara, dukkha.
So it is a sort of vibhava tanha. We want to get rid of the pain. Bhava, so that's a suffering, a tanha. That's a craving right there.
Bhava tanha or vibhava tanha. So if you want to stop this suffering, then you have to stop your cravings. Leave the painful feeling alone. Leave the painful body feeling alone. They come and go, and they're not under your control. You cannot tell them to go away. You cannot tell them to go away. But people try. They use different. They try to use different type of medication. But they sometimes get rid of it temporarily. But they themselves then become addicted to the medicine, which is more dukkha for them. Harder to get rid of.
Yes.
Ajahn, I have one more question. Now, equanimity, it is now when you meditate, it is much easier to be in an equanimous state, and then even after you come out, like it's easy to practice. But as you go on with day-to-day work and life, sometimes it's very difficult. It doesn't last. So only ways to keep meditating. There's no other way, right?
That's right. That's why you have to go live alone. Because when you live around people, you have to think, and you won't be able to meditate. So the ideal is to be alone, to meditate and develop mindfulness and meditation to get into jhana and equanimity.
So that equanimity can spill over to your day-to-day life, regular life. As time goes, you become more stable and you are less reactive to the situations, in other words.
That's right. When you come out of meditation, this equanimity will remain for a while. But after you feel that you lose this equanimity, you can always go back and recharge it. Like recharging the battery.
Recharging the battery. That's a good metaphor. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And
you look at the meter. How much equanimity I have left now? 50%.
Yeah,
20%.
we wish there was a meter. Unfortunately, at least the test I guess you have in life is the test, as you say. That's your meter, right? You reflect back on. Okay, how did I react to this? Maybe I got angry. Here goes my equanimity. Yeah.
Or you get attracted by something you see, like a dress, a pair of shoes, or a car, or whatever.
Beautiful flowers.
It means you don't have equanimity already.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's harder to see the attraction side. It's easy to see the aversion side, but not the attraction side. You cannot see it as being defilement or losing your equanimity.
So the problem is not the beautiful flower or the beautiful car or the movie or whatever. It's a thought. The flower is already there. It's not doing anything.
It's your perception of
It's your
the
thought
flower.
Of the flower. It's something, that's why we can get rid of it. Otherwise, the flower has the essential desire already. We can't get rid of it. It is the bond between the I and the flower. That's the sankhara you make in between, right? It's the thought process.
So you have to use the reverse sankhara. You have to look at them as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. This is reverse sankhara. The defilement sankhara say, oh, this is nice, this is good, this will give me happiness. So you have to use the reverse sankhara. No, it's not nice, it's impermanent, it's anicca, it's anatta. You cannot, the flowers that you think is nice, after a few days, when you buy it, it wilted away.
Yeah.
You don't think of that, right? You don't see anicca in the flower.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to have another flower.
Or something nice, like when you see a beautiful watch, you want it, and you forget that it can be stolen anytime. Or so, you
can lose it,
Yeah, you can lose it. And when you lose it, what happens? You have dukkha, right?
Put it in the water, and that's it.
No, you give it away to somebody who can make use of it. That's a much better way.
Yeah, that's dana. See, that's dana. That's metta. That's metta. Okay.
Bhante, is there a, I have one more question. Is there a, what is the practical use of arupa jhana? I mean, if you have rupa jhanas, I think that's good enough. But is a arupa jhana gives you more strength to see the nature of emptiness? Like you can use it as a tool for like solidify the nature of emptiness. So is it the use of arupa jhana?
No, I think the use of arupa jhana is it gives you more happiness. That's all. During the time before the Buddha enlightenment, people found out that if you want more happiness beyond the rupa jhana, you have to go into the rupa jhana. That's all.
So it's not based on breath or anything. It's based on the formless, some kind of perception, like a space or consciousness or whatever.
Those things are the object of your meditation. When you enter into that level, you start to see inside your mind emptiness. You have to see that, and that's what you use for your focus to keep your mind still.
So but that too is a sankhara, rupa jhana.
It reduces your sankhara and percept and sanya namo until eventually it's all stop at the ninth level, the nirodha level, the level of nirodha. Sanya vedana completely come to still. Sanya vedita nirodha. But this cannot get rid of the kilesa. The kilesa just being suppressed. It's like putting a stone on the grass. When you put the stone on the grass cannot grow. But when you remove the stone, the grass will
come back.
Yeah. Same thing when you're in jhana, you put a stone on the defilement. Now the defilement cannot act. So it gives the mind peace and happiness. And when you come out of jhana, the defilement start to come into action. And it starts to give you irritation, all sort of bad feeling. So no one else to get rid of this defilement when after jhana. So the Buddha himself has to find a way, and eventually find out by using wisdom, studying the nature of things. The defilement, what makes the defilement come into action is because of the delusion of the defilement. To think that everything that you get from your sensual objects will bring you happiness. But with wisdom, you say they are temporary, they are anicca. You get them, and one day you will lose them.
This is rupa raga. Yeah, this when you talk about the rupa raga, the fetters. So these are the arupa raga is the fetter for arupa jhana. The final 5 fetters.
That's right. That's right. If you still attached to the rupa jhana, you still be in samsara. But in the rupa realm of existence, if you have arupa raga, arupa desire, then you will be attached to the arupa world, realm of existence. So you have to give up both of this desire for rupa jhana and arupa jhana. Then you can go out of the samsara, the 3 realms of existence. First, to get rid of the kama. The sensual desire. Then when you get rid of the sensual desire, now you have to get rid of your desire for rupa jhana and arupa jhana. This is the work of the anagami. Anagami still has to get rid of the rupa raga and arupa raga. The anagami had got rid of the kama raga, but not the other 2. So he's still not free from the samsara. So once he understands that his attachment for rupa jhana and rupa jhana is the one that keep him in the samsara, and he would just have to stop his desire for them and try to go on like being attached to coffee, and you look at coffee, you want to keep being attached to coffee, or you want to free yourself from coffee? Which is better, not to drink coffee or to be subjected to desire to keep on drinking? So you have to see anicca in the coffee.
Chocolates are better.
Or chocolate or anything. They are anicca. They can only give you brief satisfaction, but not permanent contentment. See? Only permanent contentment comes from your having no desire for anything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sadhu. I think we'll
Okay, understand?
move on. Thank you.
Okay.
Sadhu.
Go to Belinda in Singapore. Belinda.
Hello, Ajahn. Ajahn, I have questions about the master and servant. When we act as a servant, are there situations where we will have to say no?
It depends on whether it gives you dukkha or not. If it doesn't give you dukkha, then you can say no. But if it still gives you dukkha, then it's better to be servant. And you will have no dukkha. So it's there to get rid of your dukkha, that's all. Eventually, once you have no dukkha, then you will be neither master or servant. You just be nobody, nothing. Because reality is that the mind is just a knower. The mind is not a master or a servant. But in order to get rid of your problem, because your delusion wants to make your mind think that you're always a master, right? I'm great, I'm good, I'm better than you. So we want to use the other to deal with this delusion. Bring the delusion down to zero by being a servant instead of being a master. That's all. Because if you can act as a servant, you can meet anybody, live with anybody, and nobody will dislike you because you always treat them as the master, right? Yes, master, whatever you want. Yes, yes. Tell me what you want, I'll do it for you.
So I'm thinking about like situations where like things that are unlawful, like say outrage of modesty, asking us to do something that is beyond precepts.
Oh no, we don't break the precept. No, don't break the precept. Don't break the law or anything like that. Okay.
So there are situations where we would have to exercise judgment. And
yes, you have to make sure that you keep your precept regardless of what happens. See, the acting of a servant is just a ploy to get rid of your ego. That's all. We have ego. We always think of ourselves, somebody important. And this can hurt us when nobody look at you like the way you look at yourself. You think yourself are great, but nobody think that you are great, and you feel bad. But if you think you're a servant, then you don't feel bad how they treat you, right? That's all. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Ryan. Ryan, where are you from? I forgot.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm from Singapore.
Okay. Anything? Question?
Yes, Ajahn. Just a comment. I think what you just said earlier on how being a servant helps to deal with our ego. So there was this time when I was much younger in my school. Our motto was "Dare to serve," but I didn't quite understand. I thought I wanted to be the one who lead. And now I think I understand a lot better that when we dare to serve, we actually get rid of our ego.
That's right. It will make you feel good when you serve others and trying to force others to serve you.
Thank you, Ajahn, for the wisdom. So my question today is with regards to one of the kilesas or cravings that I find is very hard to deal with, and that is to do with travel. Because for other kilesas, there's like a very clear object in mind that I can work with. But when it comes to travel, it seems to be something that is like a concept or an idea that I will have a lot of freedom. But I think it's also a diluted sense of freedom because it's the freedom of sensual pleasures. Whereas this practice is for freedom from all these sensual pleasures. So what's your advice to deal with this craving?
Well, you should say that what you crave for, they are like addiction, they are like drugs addiction. And once you become addicted to drugs, you become a slave to it. You have to keep feeding yourself with drugs to keep you happy. Same thing with sensual pleasure from traveling. It's like drugs, you know. You travel to make yourself happy, so you become addicted to it. When you cannot travel, then you feel bad, feel sad, feel lonely. So you have to look at everything as being like drugs, drug addiction. Even coffee, tea, something we take it lightly, but they are addiction. Once you drink it, you cannot stop. You have to stop, you'll find that you have to go through a period of withdrawal. Same thing with everything that you do in this world. They are like addiction. And if you have to stop, you have to go through the withdrawal process. And if you have mindfulness and wisdom, this will be the tool for you to deal with your withdrawal. Without wisdom or mindfulness, your mind will be feel very terrible when you have to go through the withdrawal process. And you might not be able to endure it, and you eventually give up and go back to your addiction again. But if you practice mindfulness, you have jhana, you have wisdom, you see what you're addicted to is anicca, temporarily. Sometimes you can have it, sometimes, and sometimes you cannot have it. And when you cannot have it, then you have withdrawal problem. So see everything as dukkha. Everything will give you suffering sooner or later when you cannot have it.
Thank you, Ajahn. So to follow up, I do know quite a few monks myself. So I think maybe I'm just curious in this case, but I'm just asking, how do you advise your monks under you when it comes to visiting their family, especially if they are overseas? Because then sometimes, like maybe the family is sick or a relative is in hospital, and then it requires them to travel. So what is your advice to your monks in such situations?
Well, I would ask them to consider what benefit do they bring to the people who they go to visit. Can make the person sick become well. If they can make the person sick become well because of the visiting, then it's worth the effort to go. But if it doesn't change anything, then why go? Especially when you still have to practice. If you're still practicing, you want to isolate yourself as much as possible. You don't want to get involved with people or things. When you travel, you run into all these sensual objects bombarding you all the time. And this will also stimulate your defilement to come into action. And if you're not careful, your defilement eventually might overwhelm your mind and cause you to go this road.
And just the last follow-up, Ajahn, which is I've noticed that for your practice, if you don't mind me asking, Ajahn, that you practice not going around anywhere. May I ask what's the inspiration for that?
Because I saw what causes me to go around is my desire, my cravings. My mind cannot remain still. And then I try to resist some of the easier cravings. And I found that once I have overcome them, I feel much better. So I start to see that all my mental problem arises from my cravings, my desire. So I want to stop them as much as possible. Because every time I win and the desire to give up, you feel a sense of peace and happiness inside your mind. But if you lose to your defilement, lose to your cravings, you feel that you're still not home free. You still feel that you're still a slave to your cravings.
Thank you very much, Ajahn. Thank you for the wisdom.
Right. Go to Wales, Diana. Haven't seen you a while.
Hello, Tanishan. Oh, this is so interesting because I've been getting frustrated at my inability to resist my cravings of the sugar-coated poison, and should we have expectations of ourselves? Does it help?
Expectation of yourself. For what? Expecting for what? Expecting to do something.
For us to do better.
Well, you should try to do the easier part first. Whichever craving that you can give up, try to give up those things first. Do the easy ones first. Then when you see the benefits from overcoming or giving up your craving, and you feel much better, then you will be more inspired to do more of the harder ones. Just one at a time. Don't take everything at the same time. It's too much. It will be overwhelming.
Yes.
Like if you're addicted to cigarette, okay, let's try to stop cigarette. Right? If you're addicted to drinking, try to stop drinking. Choose one or the other first. Don't do them both remains too much.
No, mine would be chocolate and shopping.
Okay. Or you can reduce them now to half, and then to another half.
But it's like you say, it's about our equanimity, isn't it? Because we use them to make
to help
ourselves
you feel better, not to feel bad when you have to withdraw from your cravings. So you have to do both. You have to practice meditation, and you also have to give up your temptation, your whatever you're tempted to do. You want to give up, but you can do them slowly. It depends on your strength. You have to look at your strength really. Sometimes you can do a lot. Who knows? But it depends. Your strength depends on your equanimity. The stronger your equanimity, the easier for you to give up.
There's a disparity in knowing what to do and being able to do it.
No, you won't know until you try it. But set up a goal that you want to give up something, and then try to. It's like New Year resolution. Whether you give up with your resolution or not, that's another question.
Yeah, pick something. Even if it's.
You have to see that there is poison in those things that you go after, that you go for. They are coated by sugar, like you said. Everything is like sugar-coated poison. But we don't see the poison, we just see the sugar-coated.
Thank you.
Okay. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do. Maybe if you want to do something like this, you also might need to isolate yourself, go away from places where you cannot get what you used to have. That might be easier. There won't be any temptation around you to tell you. That's why people go to retreat, to meditation retreat. So they cannot do what they normally would do if they are practicing at home.
Break the cycle.
Yeah, break the cycle.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. After a few days, you might be able to keep the habit. Yeah. Okay. Try and pick something one at a time, maybe.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And like you say, once you've done one little thing, it makes you
Feel
happy and calm.
inspired. Yeah.
Yeah, and able to do some more. Yeah.
In order to be able to do it permanently, you have to look at them with wisdom. And they are anicca, anatta. They will cause you dukkha if you go deal with them. Sooner or later, they are sugar-coated poison. Everything is sugar-coated poison.
And pointless quite often. Yes. Well, this is our journey.
Yeah. Do it. It's the best journey for us. Because what we get is liberation from our temptation. We can be free. We can be liberated from all our temptation. Just imagine nothing to go after anymore. No coffee, no cigarettes, no movies, nothing. Just sit and be happy. What more do you want? Right?
And so many of these things disturb our minds, entertainment.
That's right.
And we think we have no time, but we have loads of time. We just waste it. Thank you. Food for thought.
Okay, you're welcome. Let me know how you do with that next time. Okay, Kafai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajahn. I have no question for today.
Okay, Christine Koe from Penang, Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. How are you? Better? Hope that you are better. These few days, I was agitated by the client. Then I feel a lot of people are crazy. They are out of their mind. So whenever I feel that, I feel sad. Then because their demand is out of mind, is not reasonable and no logic at all. Then I feel agitated, and whenever I feel sad, then I contemplate this is like I shouldn't impacted by them. Then just now I have a short meditation. I feel more released. Is it whenever I feel sad, I should come back for meditation?
Yes. If you cannot yet use wisdom, then you use meditation.
Yeah. Then sometimes I want to get rid of it. I have to think another way, like maybe how do I say? Maybe I think that just ignore them.
That's why sometimes you feel bad because you want them to be something, to do something. But when you cannot get them to do what you want them to do, then you become unhappy. So just leave them alone. Let them do whatever they want to do. Let them be whatever they want to be. Just stay away from them.
Yes. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you.
Okay. Sulan, you haven't turned on your video. Do you want to talk? Okay, Sulan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I'm less stressed compared to last week. Yeah.
Anija, everything, even stress, Anija. Someday more, someday less.
Oh, yeah, even stress has is anicca. Yeah. And I heeded your advice to try and meditate. Then last night before I sleep, I got meditate also. Yeah. Then I think I was a little too tired towards the end. I was about to fall asleep. Yeah. Then yeah. Then after that, I ended the meditation. Yeah.
Okay. No question tonight.
I don't have a question yet. Maybe later when the question comes up, yeah, I can.
Maybe later. Okay. All right. Go to Rusli from Indonesia.
Yeah.
Rusli.
Evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Then we'll go to Kula for Facebook question. Do we have any question?
There is no question at this moment, Ajahn.
Okay. Looks like not much question tonight. Okay, Belinda, you raise your hand.
Ajahn, earlier I think Pijal asked the question about Vibhava Tanha, and I think you briefly mentioned to leave them alone. So how do you mean by leave them alone, Ajahn? Like leave them alone. Vibhava Tanha. You say leave them alone or ignore.
Don't have any tanha. The tanha is either wanting something or not wanting something. Wanting something we call bhava tanha. Not wanting something we call vibhava tanha. I don't want to get sick. You cannot stop that. If you have this, when you get sick, you have dukkha. So you have to leave the sickness alone. Don't try to force it away.
It's like accepting it, is it?
That's right. Accepting everything that happens, that has to happen. Once you have a body, you have to accept aging, sickness, and death. If you can accept it, then you will have no dukkha.
So if we have aroma like mood swing and sadness, we remain as a watcher.
Yeah, just remain a know and say this thing will also come and go. Don't wish it to go away. When you have sadness, don't wish it to go away. If you don't know how to get rid of it, then just leave it alone. Let it come and go. But sometimes you can get rid of the cause. If the cause is your cravings, then you can get rid of it with mindfulness or with wisdom. But if you haven't yet have wisdom or mindfulness, then you might just have to endure and let you endure the snow or the rain. Let it come and go. Don't have any desire to get rid of it. Then you're not increasing any stress in your mind. You're not creating any stress in your mind. If you have any stress, it's because you want your bad feelings to disappear. So if you want to get rid of your bad feelings, then you have to leave the bad feeling alone. If you don't want to have any stress in your mind. So if you can remain just merely knowing, then you solve the whole problem. And remain merely knowing. Whatever comes, let them come. Whatever goes, let them go. No clinging, no attachment. No craving for them to come. And when they go, no clinging or no attachment for them to come back. Let everything come and go. Because everything is work of nature. Okay, so you need to practice a lot of equanimity to be able to do this.
Earlier you mentioned about taking medication, like I feel like I'm probably going through menopause, so I feel a lot of like I went to see a Chinese doctor and they prescribed medication. I'm not sure what's the substance inside, so I just take it to help to balance.
What did people do in ancient times when they have this? If they have no medication, no doctor, how they deal with it? They just have to learn to live with it, right? Ancient people are much stronger than us. They don't have much to rely on to help us. Now we have so many things to rely on to help us, so we become so weak. So anything a little bit happened to us, we feel already terrible, and you start running around looking for a cure. Even though the real cure is right, you have it within yourself, which is equanimity, just acceptance. That's all. But we don't want to accept reality. The bad reality we don't want to accept. We only want the good reality.
So I think it's affecting my sleep and all. So they prescribe medication. I'm not sure how much it could help.
That's because you want to get rid of your problems. The more you want to get rid of, the more stress you get. The harder for you to go to sleep.
Yeah, like I woke up perspiring.
If you accept, then you'll fall asleep very easily. Okay, this is the way it is. I have menopause, so be it. It comes and goes, right? Sooner or later it will disappear. So as it's still here, just try to stay calm and face it with equanimity. That's all. Okay.
Like I worry about like not sleeping well and then get into
this is all your cravings.
Yes.
You want to go to sleep.
not wanting to like fear like if you don't sleep well then become.
I know you start to create all sort of a more problem for yourself.
Yes. So like thinking that you have to sleep enough, you have to eat well. That kind of like feel that it's a responsibility to take care like that.
Well, if you can do it, do it. But if you find that you cannot do it, then you just have to stop.
So if you take like herbs, I think Chinese medication, they are just herbs. They are not like Western synthetic drugs. Ajahn.
Well, take whatever you want. But the problem is not the body. The problem is the mind. The stress is in the mind.
Not wanting it to.
You're serving the wrong part. You're treating the wrong person. You should treat the mind, not the body. The body you should leave it alone. And treat the mind with wisdom, with equanimity. That's all. Once the mind becomes calm and let go of the body, then whatever happens to the body will be no problem.
So far, it doesn't quite work. Maybe it's the mind, it's the mental stress as well. So that Ajahn is right. Like I still take the medicines, but then it doesn't really quite work. So
you have to do more practice. You have to do more meditation practice and contemplate on anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Tomorrow there'll be a 3 days retreat.
Okay, good.
At Palelai is Lompo Suchito from England will be here.
Okay.
To teach Ajahn Sumedo, Ajahn Chah's disciples.
Okay.
And then end of the month, April, we have Ajahn Martin. Ajahn Martin will be in Singapore too. Just so let Ajahn know.
Good.
So if all goes well, then hopefully I will be able to attend this month end with Ajahn Martin also.
All right. Okay.
So
good luck to you.
Thank you, Ajahn. Ajahn says sometimes we like anatta sometimes. So we just have to endure and watch and be persevere doing as much as we can.
If there's nothing you can do about it, then you just have to leave it alone. If you can fix it, fix it. If you cannot fix it, then what you do? You just have to leave it alone. then fix itself. Things will fix themselves anyway. The body will fix itself one day. When it no longer breathes, then all the problem of the body will disappear. Right? You don't treat a dead person, right? Because there's no disease in a dead person anymore. The body will take care of itself, don't worry. All the diseases will be dealt with the body. The body will deal with it eventually. When it stops breathing, and all the disease will stop.
That's just very helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's why sometimes contemplating on death is a good medicine, you know. It's a good way to cure your stress, contemplating on death. Why worry? Eventually you're gonna die. Why try to solve so many problems when eventually all the problems will be solved by themselves?
I feel that my delusion is about if I'm not dead and then I fall sick and people will have to, I trouble others to take care of me, or I become a burden to somebody. This sort of worries.
If you're not dead, then you should be thankful. Yes, I'm still alive. What is better than to be alive? Don't worry about other people. You know, if you're alive, it's good enough already. And if you die, that's also good, because then all your problems will be solved. You can look at both sides and see them as good, you know. To be alive is good, to die also is good, because all your trouble will be taken care of once you die.
If you are sick and then, you know, my insurance agent just asked, like, maybe you should meet up next month to talk about my insurance. Yeah.
Well, if you have the money, then buy it. If you don't have the money, then you cannot buy it.
I think enough, just enough, not too much. But so just like that kind of worry where you don't die and then you need to be hospitalized, like such things like Ajahn. Are these just delusion? Yes, it is delusion. Yes.
Ancient times, they don't have doctors, they don't have hospitals, and they live and die just like we do with hospital and medicine. No different. The real formula hasn't been changed for ages. Aging, sickness, and death. It's the same old formula. Whether you have doctor, you have hospitals, you have all the latest way of treating your diseases, but the same old formula exists: aging, sickness, and death. So why worry about it? Accepting it. Our role here is to accept this thing. That's all. Once we can accept this thing, then we won't have any stress, right? Okay.
It's always nice talking to you, Ajahn. Like a confidence booster.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Aparajita, you're next.
Good evening, Ajahn. Right. I'm happy to be here today. Yes.
Yes. Do you have any question?
Not a question, but I just wanted to share something. So last week I was traveling, and I had this opportunity, which is a bit unique, but in very relatable. Like there's Pashupatinath in Kathmandu, and they have a cremation ground, which is kind of very visible. So because it is kind of like everybody is watching, I think first time I got an opportunity to actually see the body being kind of treated, and then it gave me a very interesting insight. I was like, we hold our bodies, so I don't want to get it dirty, I don't want to do this. But when we are dead, it's like people are just moving you around, you're just shifting. And it kind of made me think what you keep saying, how silly in a way that we attach. Whereas when you're not there, you have no control. So
that's right.
Something that came, which hopefully should help me to also let go over time.
Let go when you're still alive, and not to get too worried over your body.
Yeah, like there's no control of how your body is being treated, right? It's in the dust, it's being moved around, shifted by people, so visible to everybody. So yeah, that was a good insight.
That's why the Buddha teaches us to contemplate on the corpses.
Yeah.
Look at your body as being corpses. It doesn't, it's insignificant, this body, but we treat it like something holy,
Mm-hmm.
And actually it's just a piece of corpse. It's just a corpse. Walking corpse right now, breathing corpse.
Yes.
And one day you'll stop breathing, then it become a real corpse,
Yeah, I agree. Now I understand why the Buddha said also look at the dead body. I understand. Yeah.
To teach your mind to let go of your attachment to the body. That's why.
Yeah.
Because attachment to your body costs you a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So,
did you go to Nepal?
Yes, I went to Nepal.
I see.
Yes.
Did you go to the Buddha's birthplace?
I did. I went to both. No, I didn't go to Lumbini, but I just visited Bodhna. And because it was a short trip, I was taking certain people for a yoga trip. So it was very short, but it was nice. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody? Philip, you raise your hand, Philip.
Ajahn, I think it's also quite a similar question to some of the members here tonight. Our existence, I mean, for the normal person who is not enlightened, right? We hold our existence through all our experience and all our feelings that have actually come before us, but yet we see the world through a very tainted glass, not knowing the three characteristics, until we see that existence, right, of these three characteristics through non-tainted glass, right? We still hold this delusion that there is this self and there is this person, right? Because if you ask a person, I mean, you ask a few people sitting around like in a crime scene or anything like that, right? Each of them have their own biasness when they describe something to the judge or describe something to someone, and what is actually real or not real, right? It's actually very judgmental because we have conditioned ourselves through many birth and rebirth with this kind of biasness or delusion. Yeah, I'm just.
Yes, our perception has been what you call been inhabited in our mind. The way we perceive things differently.
So we need to continue this practice to see the three characteristics in order to have a clear perception or a clean window of the world.
That's right.
Right.
Right now, our perception of things are delusional. We see things as being a person. We see things as being permanent. We see things as something we can control. We see things as something that will give us happiness. But in fact, everything will give us dukkha sooner or later. Like I said to Diana about the sugar-coated poison. Everything is sugar-coated poison. But we only see the sugar-coated side. We don't see the poison inside.
Yes.
We see the happiness we get from this or that thing, but we don't see the dukkha that comes with it. And that thing that we get, this change or go away, disappear from us. There's sadness. Like if you're alone and if you want to have a wife, so you look at your wife as something like God sent happiness, But once you get your wife can change or your wife can disappear. And when she disappears, then what you get sadness, right?
But if I change my perception, she disappears, right?
If you change your perception, then you won't have a wife. But it's too late now. Right now, the only thing you can do is not to be attached to her. That's all. And be ready if she leaves you any day. And don't feel bad about it. Whether she leaves because of that or because she gets tired of you and she wants to divorce you, then you should be happy. If you see her, if you see it as if you see her as a anicca, dukkha, anatta, and you say, "Oh, good, I have got rid of this dukkha."
Ajahn, I have another question of meditation. Sometimes when the mind comes down quite a fair bit, right? And when I'm just focusing on the breath, right? I won't say it feels. I have okay. I'll use the word feeling, which is best described, that the physical objects disappear. Basically, the floor, the room, it starts to vanish. It's almost like in a void or in a pipe, in a void. I can't really describe it, but
when you meditate, it's like walking into a cave. You are further away from things outside of the cave. You go inside the cave, but there's nothing, emptiness.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. The walls, the floor starts to
fade away.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. That's when you're pulling your consciousness away from the sensual organs, pulling it away from your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. So it starts to not receiving any information that comes through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body.
Plus the skin of the touch of the tactile. Yeah.
That's the body. See, that's the body.
Okay. And it's up to a point that thoughts and even
You stop. Yes.
It's almost like you don't say like floating in space. I can't explain it in words.
Yeah, this what you're actually getting into is into emptiness, really. Emptiness, not empty of mental phenomena like thoughts and feelings and emotion and so forth. They will temporarily stop functioning. And now you have them is left floating in space. All that is left is the knowing. The knowing never stops knowing. It keeps knowing all the time.
There's a very distinct difference between knowing and labeling, because
labeling is thinking.
Yeah, right. So if you hear a dog, I say, okay, that's an Alsatian dog. But
that's sanya and sankhara working.
Right. That also disappears. It's just like a process, or it's just like the wind. It's just flowing by.
Yeah.
Flowing by.
But it's not important. You don't need to analyze this thing. The important thing is to have peace and contentment from your meditation. That's all. That's what you need, really. Other thing is whether they are not, doesn't matter. As long as you feel happy, you feel light, you feel release from your dukkha temporarily. That's all. That's what you want to do.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
It's like a sanctuary from your dukkha. When you have lots of dukkha and you don't know how to get rid of it, you meditate and go into jhana. Then all your dukkha will disappear temporarily. That's all. That's the purpose of meditation, to get away from dukkha temporarily. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Who would like to ask next? Sulan?
Yes.
Okay.
Sulan.
Sulan, you'll go to Kwanli Man later.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. I got a question on the meditation. Like, I think when I meditate in a room with light, because when you close your eyes, then your eyes still can feel the light in the room. Then whereas when you close the light, then yeah, sometimes there are moments where even when you close the light, can still feel that brightness.
Yes, sometimes your mind can produce brightness even when you close your eye. When you're sitting in a dark room and close your eye and meditate, sometimes you feel that there's brightness in your mind. But it's not important. Just be aware of it. The goal is to concentrate your mind to stop functioning, to stop thinking.
Oh, okay. Oh, because I realize I like to go after that brightness.
Yeah.
Then
Don't go after anything. Go after your meditation object only.
Oh. Then okay. There's that difference, right, between that the brightness because of the room got light versus the brightness that is not dependent on the room light.
They're not important. They're not the one that makes you feel peaceful and happy. What makes you feel peaceful and happy is your mind stop thinking. So try to stop thinking completely by focusing on your meditation object.
Yeah. I asked that because I recall going for one of the Dhamma talk by Longpo Vichai. Then he got shared that he shared one meditation technique, which is we can focus our attention between our eyes, like between the eyebrows, then focus and imagine the light over there. Then so I'm just not too sure if it's correct.
I think it's better to follow the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha said use the breath.
Oh, okay.
Instead of watching the breath. It's so simple, so easy. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Just keep watching the breath at the tip of your nose.
Yeah, because I realize I keep jumping here and there. Like I use the photo. Then after that, somehow the mind will jump to the breath, and then jump to the light.
I think it's your defilement that's afraid of the breath. The breath will stop the defilement. See.
So I should.
So then defilement try to find excuses to go away from the breath.
Yeah, it keep moving here and there.
Yeah.
I also move here.
Because your mind is still restless. So you might have to do some chanting before you can watch your breath.
Okay. Can do chanting.
Okay. Okay, Kwan Liman, what did you have to say?
Ajahn, does Rupa Raga refers to sensual desire? And
No, Rupa Jhana. Rupa Raga is Rupa Jhana. Arupa Raga is Arupa Jhana.
So Rupa Jhana refers to attachment to
Rupa Jhana.
Rupa Jhana. Oh. How about Arupa Jhana?
Arupa Raga.
Also Arupa Raga. Sorry, I'm not familiar with the terms.
You have Rupa and Arupa. It coincides with the Rupa Jhana and the Arupa Jhana. But this craving for can also be translated as desire for something. Is called bhava tanha. And desire for something not, we call vibhava tanha. Desire for something that you don't want is called vibhava tanha. Like, don't want to get sick, don't want to get old. This is called vibhava tanha. But sometimes it can also mean bhava tanha, mean your desire for the rupa jhana. And vibhava tanha is your desire for the arupa jhana.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
We have Vandana.
Vandana?
Yes.
Okay, Vandana, you just came in.
Yes. Good morning, Ajahn. I was listening to you on Facebook. So because I teach an evening class, so that's why sometimes it's not easy to be ready. So I just when I woke up, I started listening on Facebook, and then I joined. I'm joining with my phone. So thank you, Ajahn, for sharing so much wisdom. So last week, it was a little bit difficult week emotionally. I heard something happened, and then mind start to question, doubt, even the teachings. And then, but one strange thing also happened. Of course, my teacher, Ajahn Nesibo, and the Dhamma from Clear Mountain and the other Dhamma friends, they helped me get out of that. But one thing I observed that even then my mind was having doubts, but when I'm sitting on the meditation, again I became calm, peaceful, and even I started to feel this cold breeze around my body. It's like my, the body hair start to come up. It's become so nice and calming. And I'm feeling it right now when I'm talking to you. So I'm just wondering, how come the mind, when it was agitated during the worldly affairs, but when I come back to my meditation, it becomes it becomes very calm, and this cold breeze, it's just running around my body, and this looks like there's some feathers are touching. So how do I take this state into the outer world when I have this negative, some thoughts coming in my mind about something? How can we take it like smoothly to the, yeah, please share.
Well, say your mind is still being affected by things that it comes into contact with.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can cause it to become agitated, irritated, and sometimes it can cause it to become calm and peaceful. So it depends on what you come into contact with.
Yeah, so what I'm doing, because I know that the meditation, I don't have take much time to go into the concentration. So whenever I feel agitation, I just start to sit in the meditation, because where my mind is. But as you mentioned, that do not contemplate during that time. Do not think that time, just stay in the peaceful state. So I'm trying to just stay in that nice peaceful state and come out. So, but I got out of that state because that was a big thing for me, because I have maybe I had a blind faith in Buddha, which I'm trying to go more into deeper, that I have to have wisdom more than the faith. So wisdom will overcome all the defilements. So this is so something happened, a big thing happened, and then but now I'm coming out of it with the help, and as you said, that try to stay as much as possible in the meditation. So that's I'm trying to do. So let's see how.
See, wisdom alone cannot stop your suffering. You need the support of your equanimity.
Equanimity, yes, equanimity. That's what I'm working on, equanimity.
Yeah. You need to have equanimity, and you have to see everything as being anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Yeah.
Once you see this, then you can stop your craving, stop your desire.
Yeah, so one thing which I learned previously, just like 2 days ago, I was reading Ajahn Chah's book, and then Ajahn Chah said, Anicca is not sure, not sure. And that's yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because when I see anicca as an impermanent, then it's hard for me to connect. But when I say anicca is not sure, not sure, uncertain, then makes a lot of sense for me. And then I started connecting with the Hindi word, which is anishchit. Anishchit is a Hindi word or Sanskrit word, and then anishchit become anicca. That now I'm making, then I make connection, and I feel very good that, oh, now I got it. Finally, I got that. I can see things. uncertain. Yes.
Right. Not sure. Things keep changing.
Not sure.
Things keep changing all the time.
Yes, not sure. So never make decision, right? Never ever try to come to conclusion. Never come to judgment. Just see, not sure. Maybe we need to think more.
Future is always uncertain.
Yes, maybe think more.
Yeah. If you want to talk about the future, you have to put if in front of it. If things go accordingly, then this will happen. And this
Yes.
But if things doesn't go according to plan, then the whole plan is off.
Yes, and it's mostly defilements telling you to decide, come to that conclusion. That's this defilement telling you. So don't never come. And one thing, Ajahn, about the I'm very sensitive to physical pain. Meaning, if something somebody tried to like attack me, I will be scared. That's for sure. So the same thing which I'm experiencing, and I'm working on it. So can you please help me with that? Like for my cat, I love them so much, the cats. But one of them, he is the older one, and he is very affectionate, and he's tried to scratch, like, try to hold me tight, hold me. So sometimes his claws will touch my skin, and I say, no, don't, it's hurts, mommy, don't do that. So I'm trying to I'm trying to get rid of this fear of physical poking, like don't hurt me.
Okay.
Can you?
You have to tell yourself that the body is not you.
I tried that.
You're just a user of the body, like the driver of an automobile. So nothing. It's not the one. You're not the one who get poked. It's the body.
Yeah.
You just merely know. You're just merely observing what's going on with the body. That's all.
Yeah.
This always come back to equanimity. So if you have equanimity, then you can just watch it. Watch the body being attacked or anything, because you're not the body.
Yes, that's what my kids do. They don't care, and they said, no, it won't even hurt, mom. Don't let him do that. It's not going to hurt you. He's just. I said, yeah, I know that, but it's like my mind, which is always comes in and defilements come, and then I'm going to practice that. Okay, yeah. That's my I started observing myself, why I'm reacting. He's not going to hurt me, and even if he hurts me, then it's the body, right? It's the body needs to.
The body is not me. I'm just the user of the body.
Yeah.
And you have equanimity. If you have equanimity and you have this knowledge, then you can remain merely knowing without reacting to what happens to your body.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
And keep practicing meditation, and keep contemplating on anatta. The body is anatta, no self. I'm not the body.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Okay. Who else would like to? Kunda, you have some question?
There's one question from Facebook, Thanajan. The question is from Lee Di Hua. Hi, Thanajan. My father has suffered a stroke. We are currently sending him for physiotherapy and acupuncture session. We know these sessions are beneficial to him, but sometimes he doesn't seem keen to go. If we stop this session, his condition might become worse. What should we do? Thanks.
You have to ask him to decide what he wants to know, because it's his body. So he has to be the one to say what he wants to do. Then you follow his instruction. You are like the servant. He's the master. He's your master. You wait on him. You wait for him to tell you what to do. You don't take over his body and decide for him what should be done with his body. Okay. All right. Okay. Again, Sulan. Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Ajahn. Yeah, I got another question. Yeah. No, usually the questions just come slowly. It just comes up. Yeah. So I was kind of like reflecting, and then I recall this doubt that I had again. Yeah. So it's I remember here as I heard that if let's say a person keep on saying sickness, death, it means that the person karma is not good. That's why the person keep meeting this kind of keep seeing this kind of sights. Like for myself, when I was traveling overseas, then I saw like 2 accidents. And like on some days, I've even seen like I came across an elderly that collapsed. Yeah, then I did CPR for him, and then like I came across like people falling down and all that. Yeah, then somehow as I'm sharing is that I find that when I heard that, it kind of disturbed me that and unsettled my mind. Then there is that lingering doubt in my heart. Like from time to time, then now when I recall what I heard, and it disturbs my mind. Then I don't know how to kind of manage this, because like when I hear things, then sometimes it will disturb me and leave like a lingering doubt. Then then the doubt will come up from time to time. So this kind of doubt, is it like the doubt that one of the hindrances that the Buddha talked about?
Yes, it can be a hindrance to your making your mind being calm. So when you have this doubt, just keep reciting Buddha, or do some chanting to stop your mind from thinking about this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I just found that like this kind of doubts, it just disturbed me. Yeah.
Yeah, so use Buddha to stop this doubt, or chanting. When you become immersed with your chanting or Buddha, then you forget what you thought about.
Oh, but then outside of chanting and meditation, then the doubt would disturb me.
Then chant again.
Then chant again.
Yeah. Keep chanting as long as it doesn't stop thinking about it, then you keep chanting to stop it.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I can use chanting to help with that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, anybody else would like to ask any more questions? Looks like we almost run out of time anyway. So I think we shall call this meeting to an end for today. Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting can produce you some inspiration or some tips to help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you again at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
กราบสาธุเจ้าค่ะ
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you.
Thanks, Admin. Bye,
Ajahn.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Admin.
you,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Kevin,
Thank you, Admin. Thank you.
Bye.
สาธุค่ะอนุโมทนาสาธุ
บายบาย
บ๊ายบาย
Bye.
บ๊ายบาย
Bye bye.
บ๊ายบาย
สวัสดีค่ะ